The Department of Livestock Products Technology, Guru Angad Dev Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, Ludhiana was established way back in 2003. However, it started independently with effect from January 2004. Presently, it is one of the premier departments with state-of-art facilities in processing, packaging, and quality assurance of livestock products. Within a very short span of time, the department has strengthened facilities for teaching of postgraduate and PhD students, training to the farmers, entrepreneurs, development and transfer of technologies, and various research achievements in the field of livestock products technology. As per the minimum standards of veterinary education, the undergraduate teaching of livestock products technology encompasses many subsets. One of the most important components is milk and milk products technology. Considered as a complete food, milk is one of the most important component of the human diet. The determination of its quality is very important for ensuring access to the safe and healthy milk to the products. Under the prevailing new normal of COVID-19, it becomes imperative to have ready reference video manual for assessing various quality attributes of milk and detection of various adulterants as mentioned under syllabus for BVSC and AH course. Thus, Guru Angad Dev Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, Ludhiana has come up with this ready reference video tutorial for assessing quality and adulteration of milk as well as for the processing of two most common traditional milk products, paneer and khoa. Accurate sampling is the first prerequisite for any quality control system. Sampling of milk is essential to determine the physiochemical as well as microbiological quality of milk. The sample should be a true representative of the whole lot. The method of sampling varies according to the purpose for which it is collected and the tests which are to be carried out. Further, sampling is essential for examining the quality of incoming milk for final acceptance or rejection at the milk reception in any processing unit. After sampling, milk is analyzed for various tests like fat, specific gravity, bacteriological examination, and detection of milk adulteration. Various equipments are needed for the correct sampling of milk. Plunger is made of stainless steel, galvanized iron, and aluminium. It consists of a metallic rod around 1 meter in length, fitted with the perforated metallic disc at one end and handle at the other end. For milk storage tanks or tankers, the length of rod is generally 1.8 meter with disc having 300 millimeter diameter. Sampling dipper is made up of stainless steel, galvanized iron or aluminium. It consists of metallic rod fitted with ball at one end and handle at the other. Sampling bottles should be made up of glass or plastic having the capacity of around 100 to 250 ml. Proper labeling is essential in any sampling procedure. Labels should be attached or marked on the sampling bottles. It helps in providing information like purpose of sampling, name of the supplier, date and time of sampling, nature of preservative added, if any, etc. We should first properly mix the milk 3 to 4 times with the plunger. Plunger should fall to the bottom of the container and brought to the top of the milk as rapidly as possible, but not less than 10 times. Violent agitation of the milk should be avoided, as it tends to churn the milk, resulting in conglomeration of the fat globules. After thoroughly mixing the milk in the can, this sample is taken by sampling dipper. After sampling, milk is assessed for various physical attributes. It is the first basic step which provides very fast and quick assessment of various attributes of milk. Physical examination is a rapid method to identify different types of milk and to detect its various abnormalities. It also facilitates the judging and grading quality of milk. It is done by examining the general appearance, color, odor, taste, consistency, heat stability, and visible sediments of dirt and dust. The physical examination of milk is done by carefully noting down its general appearance, color, odor and flavor, and finally providing the judgment. General appearance of milk indicates the clarity of milk, and it is assessed by putting down the milk sample to settle down for few minutes or by help of centrifugation and noting down any particulate matter in form of sediment or precipitate and mentioning its nature and type. Next step is to check the color of milk. Freshly drawn milk from the healthy animal is opaque white and possesses a yellowish tinge in some species, for example cow. Any deviation from the normal color, such as blue, yellow, red, and brown, indicates abnormality in milk. For example, reddish tinge may be an indicative of mastitis in milch animal. After the color, sensing the milk odor is the most important task. Normal fresh milk has characteristic milky odor. In case of foul or abnormal smell, immediately reject the milk or hold for subjection to confirmatory test. Any abnormal odor such as fishy, malty, alcoholic or putrefying odor indicates chemical or microbiological contamination in milk and it's indicative of poor quality. Afterwards, the milk is tasted. For this, it is properly shaken and a sip is taken, which is then rolled 10 times in mouth for perceiving the flavor. After this, milk sample is spit and again tested second time following the same procedure. The fresh milk is having pleasant, sweet taste due to the presence of lactose, minerals, and fat. Any abnormal odor such as salty, acidic, malty, metallic, and bitter indicates poor quality of milk. After completing physical examination of milk, the milk is tested for its specific gravity. It is a simple and a rapid method to determine the quality of milk and its adulteration with water, oil, or any other solids. The specific gravity of milk is influenced by relation of its constituents, each of them having different specific gravity. For example, fat has 0.93, lactose has 1.66, proteins has 1.34, and salts have 4.12 specific gravity. The specific gravity of milk should not be determined for at least an hour after it is drawn from the cow. owing to presence of air and carbon dioxide which is contained in the milk. This is commonly called as Recknagel phenomena. For determination of the specific gravity, different equipments are used like lactometer, lactometer jar, dairy thermometer. Lactometer is a hydrometer with a scale adapted to the limits of the specific gravity of milk. It is based on the principle that a body floating in the liquid sinks to such a level that it displaces a volume of the liquid equal in weight to the floating body. For determination of the specific gravity of milk, first, the milk sample is properly mixed. It is poured into the lactometer jar by its size to 2/3 of its capacity. The temperature of the milk is measured with the help of a dairy thermometer, and it is measured in terms of degree Fahrenheit. Slowly, the lactometer is immersed in the center of the jar containing milk, allowing it to float freely. Add more milk to the jar to bring the contents level up to the top. Note down the lactometer reading after it has become stationary, and it is known as observed lactometer reading, abbreviated as OLR. Determine the corrected lactometer reading, abbreviated as CLR, with the help of a formula, and finally calculate the specific gravity of the milk. For calculation, corrected lactometer reading is first obtained adding 0.5 as meniscus error and adjusting the value for temperature difference. For every 1 degree Fahrenheit rise in temperature of milk, then calibrated temperature of lactometer, 0.1 should be added. And for every 1 degree Fahrenheit fall in temperature of milk, then calibrated lactometer temperature, 0.1 should be subtracted from the OLR. The formula for corrected lactometer reading and the specific gravity is there are certain precautions that should be taken into consideration while estimating specific gravity of milk sample. Specific gravity of milk should not be determined at least 1 hour after milking. Milk sample should be thoroughly mixed prior to determination of specific gravity. The lactometer should not touch sides or bottom of the lactometer jar. Note the reading from the line in the scale, which is in the level with the surface of the milk, not from the top of meniscus. Lactometer jar should be slightly wider and deeper than the lactometer. Lactometer and the jar must always be kept clean. Milk fat plays a key role in assessing the sale price of milk. In addition, estimation of milk fat is a key factor in determination of adulteration and food value. The fat content of milk directs yield, physiochemical, and sensory properties of dairy products. It has an important bearing on the economics of milk and milk products. Thus, its estimation is a decisive factor in any processing unit. Following are the equipments which are used for estimation of milk fat percentage: Gerber acid butyrometer, milk pipette having 10.75 ml capacity, rubber stopper, stopper key, tilt measures of 10 ml and 1 ml capacity, Gerber's centrifuge machine capable to rotate at 1100 rpm, sulfuric acid 90% strength with corresponding specific gravity of 1.816 to 1.820 and isoamyl alcohol. First, fill 10 ml 90% sulfuric acid into tilt measure and transfer it into the butyrometer from the sides. Take 10.75 ml of milk in milk pipette by filling it up to the mark. Deliver this milk into the butyrometer slowly through the sides so that it will not mix with the acid. Take 1 ml isoamyl alcohol into the tilt measure. Add into the butyrometer in such a manner that the three liquids stand in three distinct layers. Close the butyrometer with the help of the rubber stopper using the key. Shake the butyrometer gently until all the white curdy material disappears. Invert the butyrometer 3 to 4 times to mix the content thoroughly. Place the butyrometer in the Gerber centrifugal machine and the centrifuge should be carried out for 3 to 5 minutes at 1100 rpm. After completion of the operation, take out the butyrometer from the centrifuge. Read out the fat percentage directly from the scale by observing the lower and upper levels of fat. The fat percentage is calculated by measuring the difference between the upper and the lower reading, representing total fat percentage in the tested milk sample. During the process of fat estimation, various precautions should be undertaken to get proper and accurate results. The sulfuric acid should be of correct strength, otherwise it would be difficult to distinguish between the fat column and the underlying liquid. If acid is too strong, it will char or blacken the fat column, and if it is too weak, the curd will not be completely dissolved, and a layer of curd will be seen at the base of the fat column. Speed of the centrifuge machine should be ensured, otherwise air bubbles at the top of the fat column will be seen. The rubber stoppers should be dry and without any kind of cracks. The three fluids should be carefully and gently added such that they arrange themselves in three distinct layers. Ensure that the curdy material is dissolved completely prior to centrifugation. Clean the butyrometers and stoppers after their use. So once we have estimated the fat and the specific gravity of the milk sample, we can calculate solid not fat and total solid content of the milk. Total solids in the milk minus its butter fat constitutes solids not fat, abbreviated as SNF. The total solid and total solid not fat content of milk are very important parameters, as these attributes directly affect the yield percentage of various milk products such as paneer, chhena and khoa. Total solids can be determined by various methods such as gravimetric, Richmond scale, density hydrometer or by lactometer. Total solid content of the milk includes fat, proteins, lactose and minerals, that is, entire residue left after complete evaporation of water from the milk. These values can be easily calculated by putting fat and CLR in these formulas. Besides estimation of fat, specific gravity, and total solids in milk, certain other rapid tests are done at receiving platform in any dairy plant or processing unit for assessing its suitability for further processing. These tests are known as platform tests. Under these tests, the acidity of milk is a very important parameter. It is a measure of freshness of milk and is an indicator of quality and handling. The acidity test is of great value in grading of the milk as well as cream. It directly affects the heat stability or suitability of the milk for thermal treatment. For measuring acidity of milk, following materials are needed: conical flask, 0.1 normal sodium hydroxide solution, pipettes, 10 ml burette with clamp and stand, phenolphthalein to be used as an indicator, and stirring glass rod for proper mixing the solution. For determination of acidity in the milk, first mix the milk sample thoroughly. Transfer 10 gram of milk in pre-weighed conical flask. Fill the burette with 0.1 normal sodium hydroxide, taking care that no air bubbles are entrapped in the burette. Add few drops of 1% phenolphthalein solution in the milk. Slowly titrate the content by running the alkali from the burette into the milk until the milk shows a faint but persistent pink color. Note the volume of alkali used. The acidity in the milk is calculated by the formula and is expressed as % of lactic acid weight by volume. The value of 1 ml of 0.1 normal NaOH is sufficient to neutralize 0.009 gram of lactic acid. Since equal volumes of acids and alkalis of same strength exactly neutralize each other, 1 ml of N by 10 alkali will neutralize 0.009 gram of lactic acid. Another very simple and a common test to assess the suitability of the milk for thermal processing is clot on boiling test, which is abbreviated as COB. It also helps to detect the presence of colostrum in the milk. It assesses the % acidity in the milk. When the acidity of milk reaches 0.2%, it becomes sour in taste. When acidity of the milk reaches 0.25%, it coagulates on heating. COB test does not require any specific equipments or chemicals, but just test tube holders, and water bath for provision of heating. Take 5 ml of well mixed milk sample in a test tube. Hold the tubes carefully in the boiling water bath for 5 minutes. Remove the tube and rotate it in the almost horizontal position. Examine the film of the milk or side of the test tube for any precipitated particles. Presence of clot or precipitated particles are indicative of positive test. Just have a look at the test tube which gives the positive COB test. This milk has acidity generally above 0.17% and is not suitable for distribution as liquid milk or for processing. The other test tube is not showing any kind of clots, and such milk is suitable for heat processing. Alcohol test, also known as alcohol precipitation test or ethanol test, is used for rapid assessment of stability of milk to processing, particularly for condensation and sterilization. The alcohol test is useful as an indication of the mineral balance of the milk and not so much as an index of developed acidity. The test aids in detecting abnormal milk such as colostrums, milk from animal in the late lactation, mastitis milk, and the milk in which the mineral balance has been disturbed. Just like COB test, it is also very simple and requires only test tube holder, ethyl alcohol, and 5 ml pipette. Take 5 ml of well mixed milk sample in a test tube. Pour equal quantity, that is 5 ml of alcohol, with the help of pipette in the test tube. Mix the contents of this test tube by careful shaking or by inverting it several times. Note for presence of any flakes or clots. The presence of flakes or clots denote positive test. A negative test indicates low acidity and good heat stability of the milk sample. Milk showing positive test is not considered suitable for the manufacture of evaporated milk, which has to be sterilized to ensure its keeping quality. Another method to determine the acidity of milk is by estimation of its pH value. The relationship between pH and acidity of milk is only approximate. In normal milk from cow, pH ranges from 6.4 to 6.6, whereas in buffalo, it varies from 6.6 to 6.8. In general, pH test is used to screen out mastitis milk in which the pH value increases and becomes alkaline, usually over 7. Milk pH can be determined either by pH strips or digital pH meter. Indicator strips give rough estimate of pH, whereas digital pH meter tells us the exact value. Adulteration of the milk with spurious elements is one of the biggest challenge for dairy industry. As milk is in the liquid phase, it is very easy to adulterate it. Various adulterants are used in the milk, serving different purpose and concealing the fraudulent practices by milk vendors. The common adulterants in the milk industry that are usually observed are skimming. It is assured by addition of water or skim milk or both for reducing fat. Addition of thickening agent to maintain the consistency or viscosity of milk. For example, addition of sugar, starch, gelatin, etc. Addition of coloring agents like annatto, coal tar dyes, which are also added to milk in order to mask the effect of skimming. Addition of preservatives to delay fermentation or souring and to enhance the shelf life of milk. For example, sodium carbonates, bicarbonates, hydrogen peroxide, boric acid, borax, formalin, benzoic acids, etc. And sometimes there is accidental adulteration with dung, urine, contaminated water, and fodder particles. The most common adulterants in the milk are water, urea, starch, cane sugar, formaldehyde, and boric acid. Under various milk adulterants, addition of water is a common practice to increase the volume of the milk. It results in the lowering of the specific gravity of milk that can be easily checked. The decrease in the total solids and SNF is also noticed in case of addition of extra water in the milk. Some dishonest milk traders in few localities use combination of vegetable oil, urea, detergent powder, caustic soda, powdered sugar or salt, starch paste, color and water for the preparation of synthetic milk. This milk appears to be very similar in color, texture and density to the normal milk, but it has a urea concentration of 500 to 1000 mg per 100 ml of milk, whereas normal milk has a urea concentration in the range of 20 to 70 mg per 100 ml of milk. Therefore, the quantitative detection of urea in the milk becomes quite essential. The urea adulteration can be easily detected by use of 1.6% para-dimethyl aminobenzaldehyde, which is abbreviated as PDMAB, in 9:1 alcohol is to HCl ratio. For detection of urea in the milk, take 5 ml of milk and add 5 ml of para-DMAB. Development of distinct yellow color after few minutes indicate the presence of added urea. Starch is usually added in the milk to increase viscosity and specific gravity and to mask the effect of water addition in the milk. Chemicals and the materials required for starch estimation are iodine solution 1% weight by volume, test tubes, test tube holders, pipettes and water bath. Take about 3 ml of well mixed sample in a test tube. Boil the milk by holding the test tube. Allow it to cool to room temperature. Add 1 or 2 drops of iodine solution into it. Then observe for any color development. Presence of starch leads to appearance of blue color as displayed in the test tube. Along with the starch, cane sugar is also added in the milk as a thickening agent. For detection of cane sugar in the milk, concentrated hydrochloric acid and resorcinol are needed. Take 15 ml of milk in the test tube, add 1 ml of concentrated HCl and mix the contents by shaking the tubes gently. Add 0.1 gram or a pinch of resorcinol and mix. Place the test tube in the boiling water bath and observe the change in the color. The development of the red color in the test tube indicates the presence of the cane sugar in the milk, and the one without any color development indicates milk sample has not been adulterated with the cane sugar. Formalin is used as a preservative and it inhibits the growth of bacteria in the milk. It delays decomposition or souring of the milk. For detection of the formalin in the milk, 1% ferric chloride solution and concentrated sulfuric acid is required. Take 10 ml of the milk in wide mouth test tube. Add 1 or 2 drops of ferric chloride solution and mix. Add 5 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid carefully down the sides of the tube so that it forms a layer at the bottom without mixing with the milk. Observe for the development of violet or blue color at the junction of the two liquids, which indicates the presence of formalin or formaldehyde in the milk. Besides formaldehyde, boric acid is also commonly used as a preservative in the milk. Chemicals required for detection of boric acid in the milk are phenolphthalein, 0.1 normal NaOH, and 50% glycerin. Take 5 ml of milk sample in the test tube, add few drops of phenolphthalein indicator and 10 ml 0.1 normal NaOH. Development of pink color occurs. Then add 5 ml glycerin. Observe the color in the test tubes. The change of pink color to the white indicates the presence of boric acid in the milk. Once quality evaluation and grading of the milk is completed, it is ready for consumption as liquid milk, or one can prepare various value-added milk products out from it. The milk used for preparation of various milk products should be fresh, clean, wholesome, and should be free from adulterants. Otherwise, it may lead to the poor quality of developed products. Amongst various milk products, chhena or paneer is very popular. Paneer is basically a pressed version of chhena. For production of chhena or paneer at small scale, following items are required: fresh, good quality milk, gas stove, citric acid solution 2% or tartaric acid or lactic acid, muslin cloth, weighing balance, hoops for paneer, pressing machine. The paneer can be processed from the milk at small scale by following process. First, standardize the buffalo milk to a fat level of 5%. Heat the milk to the temperature of 85 to 90 degrees centigrade for at least 5 minutes with constant stirring throughout. Cool the milk to 70 degrees centigrade. Add 2% freshly prepared hot solution of citric acid, which is at a temperature of 70 to 75 degrees centigrade, to the milk with continuous agitation until clear vase separates out. Stop the stirring after the coagulation is completed. Allow the curd to settle down. In case of chhena, transfer the entire content over the piece of muslin cloth stretched over another vessel to remove whey. Hang the muslin cloth containing chhena on a hook to drain excess of whey. In case of paneer, transfer the curd into the hoop lined with the cheese cloth. Wrap the contents in the cheese cloth and press for 15 to 20 minutes by applying pressure of 0.6 pounds per square inch. Remove the paneer from the hoop and immerse it in the chilled water for about 2 to 3 hours to make it firm. Remove the chilled paneer from the water and allow it to drain. Weigh the paneer and determine the percentage yield. Khoa is a desiccated milk product prepared by removing moisture from the milk. For preparation of the khoa, khoa pan, khurchan or stirrer, gas stove, whole milk, cow or buffalo milk, and weighing balance are needed. Take the known quantity, in this case 2 liters of milk, in an open pan. Heat the milk till it boils. Stir the milk vigorously and constantly with the circular motion by khurchan or stirrer. Scrape up the contents constantly to avoid sticking of the milk. Continue stirring and scraping until the milk transforms into a semi-solid or a pasty consistency. Stop heating when the final product shows the signs of leaving bottom and the sides of Khoa pen and is sticking together. Remove the pan from the gas stove. Work the contents up and down into a single compact mass, which is known as Khoa pat. Weigh the product to estimate the yield.
To watch more educational videos on veterinary and animal sciences, subscribe the channel and please touch the bell icon. Guru Angad Dev Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, Ludhiana on YouTube.